Hello, everyone. Good evening, and welcome to our June edition Medlink Students webinar, where we're going to take you on a journey all about studying medicine and dentistry abroad. Thank you all so much for joining us. We're really excited to have you with us. This is going to be our biggest webinar so far of 2024, and we can't wait to take you along for the ride. Also, a congratulations for all of the UK students who have just completed your A-level exams. We've all been there. We understand it's daunting, it's stressful, many sleepless nights, lots of revising, lots of hard work. Let's hope that it's all paid off and you've managed to get good grades. But well done to all of you anyway. We all understand how much of a heavy burden it is to complete that. And you've got through it now, you're on the other side, so you can start looking towards the future and even more exams with medical school and dental school abroad. But at least now it's going to be something you're passionate about. We know that all of you joining us this evening have a real passion and dedication towards helping others and towards fulfilling your dreams in medicine and dentistry. Otherwise, you wouldn't be here. You wouldn't be looking at this. So we're going to do our best to help you with that passion and that dedication and to honor it by giving you as much of an insight and as much information as possible into studying abroad. Okay, so we're going to talk from a few of us this evening. Myself, of course, as an expert academic advisor, also a couple of my senior colleagues as well, Dana and Edmund. We're also going to have Daniela here. Daniela is one of the senior admissions experts who actually works on a lot of the files and is talking to universities on a daily basis. So an amazing insight to get from her as well. Then, of course, we're going to have some really special guests from some of the universities. Miss Adriana, Professor Ia from Tbilisi Medical Academy, one of our most popular medical schools in Europe, plus many more. As well as that, of course, we're going to have some students. Students just like yourselves a couple of years ago, they hadn't studied abroad, but they decided to take the plunge to go and do it, and they're going to be here tonight to share their experience. Maybe things that went wrong, things they found challenging, what they overcame, what they enjoy, and just a general insight into how it is for them. So, going on from there, what are we going to cover today? Just to give you a little bit of an insight into what's going to go on throughout the next couple of hours. So initially, we're going to talk a little bit about who we are as an organization, just to give you an idea of what it is we do and why we do it. We're also then going to go straight into some of the benefits of studying abroad and why it could be worth it for you. We're going to talk a little bit about some of the admission procedures as well as some of the tuition fees and how the programs are broken down. And we're then going to delve into some of the popular universities. Now, this part's important because this is when we're going to actually be speaking to university representatives and to students. So please do stay tuned for that. There'll be loads of valuable insight for you to gain from that part. After that, of course, we're then going to talk about how we can help as an organization, how we can help you as an individual achieving your dreams of studying abroad. After that, we're then going to go over a quick Q&A where we're going to answer some of the most asked questions. So please, if you see the Q&A down the bottom there, if you have a question, type it in straight away. We'll try to answer as many of them as we can. If not, then you will have the opportunity at the end of the webinar to sign up for a personalized one-on-one Q&A session completely free of charge. Our team of advisors have opened up as much availability as they can throughout the rest of this week, so we can take on appointments with you and help you as much as we can. Okay, so we're now going to go into a little bit about who is Medlink Students, and to do that I'm going to pass over to my colleague Edmund. Over to you.
Thank you, Tom. Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us tonight. We're so glad you're here. As Tom was saying, congratulations to all the A-level students that have finished. I know it's, I've been speaking to some of the parents and it's not been easy, sleepless nights, but I'm sure I bet you're happy that you're done. So congrats. All right, well, our journey has been quite the adventure, to say the least. Our doctors and dentists were once students just like you, and they faced the same challenges into getting into medical schools and dental schools in the UK. Now, despite having excellent grades, they encountered all the rejections. So they had to start looking elsewhere outside the UK. Now, just like you guys do, picture yourself spending countless of hours researching universities, comparing the options, which one is better, which one has a good quality, confusion, applications and deadlines and requirements. Now, these tough experiences is what laid out the foundations for what we do today. Now, we've been through it all, managing applications, preparing all the necessary tests, moving to a new country, making friends. We truly understand how overwhelming this journey can be. And that's why we're here. And that's to assist you in every step of the way. And we're prepared to support you throughout the journey, through all the twists and the turns. Now, our organization is proud to celebrate 13 years of challenging and changing lives, one student at a time. Now, this is a milestone that we continuously take pride in, and it's a testament of our commitment to your success. Now, of course, I'll introduce you to our incredible team, which consists of the doctors and the dentists who have embarked on the same journey that you're thinking of embarking, alongside myself and my fellow seniors as academic advisors, who we basically delve into your individual circumstances and your preferences and tailor a plan specifically for you. Of course, we have to acknowledge our admissions team. Now, they're the ones that are responsible for ensuring that your application is in excellent shape for submission. Now, of course, we've got our on-ground support. We're basically waiting for you when you arrive. Now, the beauty of all of this is in the combined expertise of our doctors, academic advisors, admissions team, on-the-ground support. We've pretty much got you covered throughout this journey. So choosing us meaning that you're not just choosing a service, it means that you're joining a community. So thank you for being here with us tonight, and we look forward to helping you achieve your dreams. Now, I want to invite my colleague, Dana, who's going to tell you about the many reasons for you to study medicine and dentistry abroad. Dana?
Thank you, Edmund, and hello and good evening to everyone. It's so exciting to see all of our future doctors, our passionate future doctors here with us today, a big number of students. And again, congratulations to all of you who have finished your exams. The summer has started, so enjoy your summer. And remember that means a new academic year is coming up. And everyone here has a strong passion, which made you look outside of the box and come here to look for opportunities to become successful and phenomenal doctors and dentists. So I want you to know that we are here to help you, and we're willing to go above and beyond to make sure we help you through this journey to achieve your dream and make sure that you live a lovely life and a lovely experience during these 6 years or 5 years. So I'm going to tell you a little bit more about the benefits of studying abroad. After speaking to so many students, I always hear what they like, what they enjoy most about their experience studying abroad. And some of these advantages is being able to come back home and practice. So the degree that you get will be recognized in your home country if your plan is to come back to your home country. And if you decide to stay in Europe, you can also stay in Europe. So these degrees are recognized worldwide. You can work anywhere you want. You have an option to choose where you want to be after you graduate. In addition to the variety of options, you can apply to more than one university while you're doing your applications now. And these universities have very modern facilities. They have new technologies, new labs, and they do their best to make sure you get the best education. In addition to one of the main and major reasons why students consider Europe is the flexible admissions. Universities in Europe have different admission requirements. Some universities require biology and chemistry, and sometimes we get students that don't have biology and chemistry. So other schools might accept you with that, and you have to sit an exam, maybe a simple entrance exam covering your high school content that we also help you prepare for. Or some universities might have an interview, and some universities don't have an exam. So whatever grades you have, whatever subjects, we are here to help you choose a university, and I want you to know that you have an option to study abroad. And the courses, of course, are fully taught in English. And as we discussed, that it's globally recognized, not just in your home country or not just in the country that you study in, but worldwide recognized. And one of the very exciting things about going to Europe is how affordable it is. A lot of students go there and they're like, even the living expenses are so affordable. So you can find universities ranging from 3,800 euros a year up to 25,000 euros a year. Whatever your budget is, we'll be able to help you find a university within the range and the budget that you have. And of course, the quality of education is one of the main factors. A lot of students think, if I don't study in my home country, I'm not going to get the same education. Well, the answer here is that Europe has very prestigious and very old universities that have graduated successful doctors. They've been operating for years. They are considered top universities worldwide. So they have top quality of education. And this is what we do here. Our doctors have carefully handpicked the top universities for you to make sure you get the best quality of education. So this is something we can help you find top universities, great experience, a nice city life, and most likely, well, what I would say the number one reason why students enjoy their experience after they're accepted and they go there is the international environment, the diversity. Some students go and find students from their home countries, and many times you might find someone from the same city or a neighboring city. So you find students from all over the world there. And these are some of the advantages. There's many more to listen to when we speak to the students. We have students with us today. They will be telling you more. But what I can tell you here is don't worry about going to Europe. It's a big step, but I can assure you and guarantee to you it's going to be a great experience. If many students have done it before, you can do it too. So we can't wait to have you join us in Europe. And I'll pass it back to Tom to tell us more.
Great. Dana, thank you so much for perfectly explaining some of the key benefits, but you're absolutely right. The students will be telling us plenty of their benefits a little bit later on as well. Some of them can be quite unique, some of them can be quite unexpected. But I guess what a lot of you are thinking is, does anyone else actually do this? Now, I know a lot of you nowadays, you may have brothers or sisters or even parents that have studied abroad like this, but for a lot of you, you are probably thinking, does anyone else do this? Am I going to be the only one, from the UK or from the USA or from Nigeria, wherever you're coming from? Of course, we have students from all over the world that are with us this evening. But here's a really good representation, particularly from the UK, from the General Medical Council. And this is some data showing the amount of British nationals, so British citizens, who have joined the register with a non-UK primary medical qualification. So essentially the amount of students who have gone and studied abroad medicine, typically for 6 years, and then they've come back and registered with the GMC over the past few years. As you can see, it's just been increasing and increasing, and last year was by far the biggest increase, almost 1,000 doctors. So almost 1,000 UK students coming back as medical doctors, graduated medical doctors, to come back and register. And that was people, most of them started 6 years ago. And 6 years ago, we had nowhere near as many students as are applying with us through now. So I imagine that the cohorts that a lot of you will be looking at graduating with, at that point, we may even be in line with the amount of UK registered doctors. And so the system, also this is a testament really to the UK system and how good it is at registering and employing international doctors from abroad. Bear in mind that through Medlink Students, we do support you with this as well. So we will help you with the whole process. We'll make sure that you know exactly what you need to know when it comes to registering back in the UK or in your country of choice, whether you're looking to go back to the UK, Africa, Asian countries, Australia is a really popular one as well. Wherever it may be, we'll be more than happy to help. So let's talk a little bit about the European qualification, because there are some key differences and it's really important for you all to be aware of this. I'm going to pass back to my colleague Edmund, who's going to go over a little bit of these differences with you now.
Thank you, Tom. So in Europe, medicine is typically takes about 6 years to finish. So when you graduate, you finish as a doctor of medicine. And the program is usually divided into two main parts. So the first 3 years, which is the first half, these are the classroom and the kind of the clinical phase. So this is where you learn the theories of medicine and the basics. You get to also have some practical experience through clinical skills. So this involves giving injections, drawing blood, measuring blood pressure, learning how to interact with patients at their bedside. And then, of course, the final 3 years, these are really the clinical phase. That's where you transition into real patient clinical setting. So you'll be working or you'll be shadowing the doctors, and you gain first-hand experience in caring for patients. Now, of course, with MDs in Europe, you really learn a lot in terms of building a lot of experience in learning about the specialties from surgery to pediatrics and these are the things that really, when I speak to students, they say, hey, I want to become a surgeon. These are the things that you get to learn in the final 3 years of the program. Now, of course, these degrees are widely accepted in Europe, of course. They're accepted in the US, Canada, Australia, the UK, and many more. Now, when you look at dentistry, which is also taught in English, these are called either the Doctor of Dental Medicine, so DMD, or the Doctor of Dental Surgery, which is DDS. These are the same courses. It just depends on where you are. It follows the same path as medicine. It can take either 5 or 6 years. Now, the first part of the program, which is the first half, that's where you dive into your theoretical studies. So you'll lay down a solid base in your dental knowledge, and then your skills as well in thorough theoretical knowledge, as well as your practical knowledge, where you'll be working on phantom heads. And then the second part is all about your clinical experience. So you'll basically be rolling up your sleeve, where you'll be working directly with real patients, where you get to put all your knowledge to action in a clinical setting. Now, of course, you'll be supervised by the dental experts there, where you get to kind of hone in on all your skills to perfection. Now, of course, we've thoroughly done all of this research for you. And these courses have international recognition from the UK to going to Australia. Now, of course, we guide you depending on where you're going as to what you need to do. Now, as Tom mentioned, we do help you with the registration when you come back to the UK. Now, when it comes to the students that already have degrees, now it's not too late, you can still pursue medicine. Graduate entry is another pathway you can go into. Now, in Europe, graduate entry is more of a transfer of credits. What that means specifically is you have a bachelor's degree, and what the university looks at specifically is transferring those credits. Now, of course, these are subject to specific degrees that you have, and we can assess that when we have a chat with you. And of course, if you're looking for the 4-year standalone programs, then we look outside of Europe, where you have the option of going to the Caribbean schools, where you'll do a 4-year program, where the first 2 years are the preclinical setting, and then the final 2 years are the clinical setting. And of course, these degrees are recognized in the UK by the GMC. They're also recognized in other countries as well. And then, of course, you've got the graduate dentistry. Now, this is something that we can look into with you. Graduate entry dentistry is essentially the same as the European one, where you transfer your credits into another course where you start. So if you've got a bachelor's of science in biomedical science, we can look into it where your degree can be cut down to up to 4 years. Now, of course, this is subject to the degree itself. Now, transferring medical schools is a service that we offer. Now, when a student transfers, well, it could be for many, many reasons. Some can be financial reasons, family issues, it can be academic, and some can be cultural too. And trying to find the right school to change to can be a challenge. Now, no case is too complex for us. We've worked with hundreds of students that transfer schools on a yearly basis, and we can work with you in finding the right option for you. Now, after all, you did all the hard work going abroad. So continuing your studies somewhere else is a priority for us. And that's where we look into pretty much where you are, what you're doing, what you've done, and then where we can actually advise you to go to. Of course, every case is looked at on an individual basis. So sitting down with you, having a call is something that we could do. So don't be shy, give us a chance, and then we'll speak to you about what options will be available to you. Now, something I get asked a lot is, what are the tuition fees? The living costs? How much am I going to have to spend when I'm there? And to tell you a lot more about this, I'm going to invite my colleague Dana, and she'll tell you about the tuition fees and the living costs and what it really means to you. Dana?
Exactly. Another very common question we get is, how much is it going to cost me to go abroad? How much does it cost to study in Europe in general? And how much does it cost to live there? Because they're going to live there for the whole year. So one of the main attractive things in Europe is the affordable tuition fees and living expenses. As you can see in front of you on the screen, tuition fees range between 3,800 euros up to 25,000 euros a year. And on the opposite side, you can see the living expenses per month in each country. Now, a very common question I get asked by students also is, does it mean if I study in a university with higher tuition fees, it means I get better quality of education? The answer here is simply that tuition fees are related to the geographical location of the country and the economical situation of the country that the university is located in. So as you can see, if the fees are higher, the living expenses are higher because the economy would be higher in that country. So it's not about the tuition fees where you can compare it to the quality of education. You can be getting top quality of education for 4,000 euros, and you can be getting top quality of education for 10,000 or 15,000. It depends on the countries and on the universities, of course. And this is what we help you here when we get on a call. We describe each university, we listen to your priorities, to your qualifications, and we see which university would be best for you. So if your dream is to become a doctor, feel free to book a call with us, and your personal expert advisor will guide you in choosing the university based on what you have and what you're looking for and what the budget is. Whatever your budget is, you can study medicine without having any financial burdens and getting the top quality of education and a worldwide recognized degree. So don't worry about that. If your dream is to become a doctor, we are here to help you find something suitable to your budget and to what you're looking for. And moving on from here, we will be talking about the admission process. I'd like to introduce one of our expert admission team, Daniela.
Hello everyone, I am Daniela and I am thrilled to be representing the Medlink Students admissions team. Today marks the beginning of an exciting journey for you, and I am eager to share what are the exciting opportunities that our medical schools have in store. Now, let's talk about what you need to get started. The key requirement is for you to have a high school diploma or the equivalent of the document in your home country. European universities are famous with their academic excellence, and as such, they normally require their candidates to have a strong background in the basic science, such as biology, chemistry, physics, and mathematics. If you don't have these, don't worry, because there are enough universities that will accept you even without them, just because they like to give equal opportunities to everyone. If English is not your first language, then the university might also require an English proficiency certificate, just so the university can be sure that you'll be fully engaged with your studies. Remember, you're not going on this journey alone. Our dedicated admissions team will be assisting you throughout the whole process. From providing you with study materials to giving you an entrance exam preparation, we've got you covered. If the university has an interview as part of the application process, we'll make sure to prepare you for that so you can have the confidence to impress everyone at the interview. That's not all. Our team will also assist you with translating, legalizing, and certifying your documents, so we can make sure that your application process is smooth and that you'll get the acceptance letter for the university of your choice. What sets us apart is that at Medlink Students, we are in constant communication with all the schools, and this is how we make sure that you're always kept in the loop. We will also not be only assisting you before and during, but also after you get accepted. We understand that this is a long pathway and we don't want you to go through it alone. So we are committed to helping each and one of you, because your success is our success as well. Back to you, Edmund.
Thank you, Daniela. All right. So over the past decade, Europe really has emerged as a hub for high quality English taught dental and medical programs. And really, they offer diverse opportunities for aspiring students like you. So tonight, we'll take a look at some of the top areas that we've had the most applications in the last year. Now, bear in mind, each of these countries, they offer unique advantages and a variety of educational experiences. So you've got the likes of Georgia, you've got the likes of Serbia, Latvia, Bulgaria, Hungary, Romania, Poland, and just outside of Europe, we now also have the Caribbean. So we spent over a decade where we carefully we've selected over 100 medical schools or dental schools all across Europe. And we understand that each student is unique. So our goal is to match you with the perfect opportunity. And to go through one of the options, I want to talk about one of the schools that we have in Georgia, which we've partnered with. And this is Petre Shudat's Tbilisi Medical Academy. Now, it's TMA in short. Now, this is one of the prestigious institutions that we have in the heart of Georgia. It's in the capital city, which is Tbilisi. Now, they provide a 6-year MD program, which is, of course, taught in English, and then you graduate with an MD. Now, for those of you who are worried about entrance tests, don't worry. They don't have an entrance test, but they do have an interview. And this is something that we prepare you for. They also have 2 intakes a year, where you can either start this October, and if you're finishing your high school later on in the year, you have the chance to start in the winter, which is the March intake. But to tell you a bit more about the school, we've invited the student and also one of the university representatives, which is Professor Ear. And she's going to come in and tell you guys more about the school. Professor Ear?
Hello everybody. I'm very pleased and honored to represent today Petre Shudat at Tbilisi Medical Academy. We are working with Medlink for the last 3 years, and we are very pleased to have the students. So that's why I was very happy to participate in today's webinar. Let me say a few words about my university. So we are one of the oldest private schools in Georgia. So we have like history of 32 years of teaching both Georgian and international students. So we have very genuine student-oriented approach. It means we're trying to create the ambience where you can show all your possibilities, you can reveal your capacity. We are having continuously developing learning environment, highly professional academic staff, individual feedback-based approach to each student learning skills. So we have beautiful campus. You can see some of the pictures of the campus, of library, of our facilities, of the clinics. We are working with 35 clinics, the best clinics in Georgia, in Tbilisi, which is the capital of Georgia. So we are using all the innovative methods of learning and assessment, like CBCR, case-based learning, or it can be TBL, team-based learning, innovative methods of assessment like GOTS, it means growth-oriented test, or OSCE exams like objective target examination. So these words are not telling you anything now because you just graduated your school, but whenever you will become doctors or students of the medical universities, you'll understand all these meanings of these words, and you appreciate how important are they in forming the future medical doctors. I will not take too much of your time. I just want to underline that Tbilisi Medical Academy is offering a wide variety of exchange programs. So if you are interested in, we are organizing many summer schools, flagships in European universities, others, or in Oriental countries. We are having generally students from 35 countries worldwide. So you will have very big international family at home. So we are bringing some generation at home. And there is you will enjoy this diversity, multicultural diversity, which you will meet later at TMA in Georgia. Georgia is generally one of the safest countries in the world, and Tbilisi is one of the most beautiful cities in this middle of Europe and Asia, like something like bridge, which serves like a bridge to the Eastern Europe and other parts of the world. So I will not take your time too much. If you have any questions, I'll be very happy to answer. And I know that we have students from TMA, so I'm thrilled to hear what will be her impressions later about TMA. Thank you very much for the invitation, and I'll be very pleased to meet you later in Georgia, and especially at Tbilisi Medical Academy.
Thank you, Professor Ear. Lovely to always have you join us. All right, so we have a student that is in the first year who's come in, spend some time with us tonight and share her experience. We have Jasira.
Yes, hello, good evening, everyone.
Good evening. Thank you for spending some time with us.
Thank you for having me.
All right, so Jasira, this is a chance for you to tell us a bit more about kind of what brought you to TMA, what your journey and how you ended up here.
Well, actually, I was studying in Switzerland before coming here to Georgia, and I couldn't get into med school back there, so I started to look for different options, what options were there for me, but still in the European continent. So I stumbled upon Medlink one random afternoon, and that's when I started talking to Dana, and we basically saw all the options that I had, and I decided that Georgia was the most comfortable and safest option for me. And TMA, since it's recognized internationally and is the oldest private university academy in Georgia, it was the safest one, basically.
Fantastic. And once you found the option that was suitable for you, how was your experience with the actual application throughout with us?
The application was extremely smooth. I basically didn't have to do much. Everything was done for me. I just provided the documentation that was asked from me, and the direct contact with the university and all of that was made by Medlink. So it was a very smooth and comfortable transition for me.
Fantastic, fantastic. And in terms of now that you're studying medicine, how's your experience been at TMA as a school?
So far my experience has been great. I really like my class. I really like the university and the education we are receiving. I also really enjoy the proximity we have with the teachers. That are most of them are doctors themselves, so that's a plus. And yeah, since the classes are not super big as in other European universities where you have big auditories with a teacher in the middle of the room with a microphone, and they basically don't even know your names. In here, you have the opportunity to actually ask questions to the teachers, and then they have the time to spend time on you as well as a student.
Which is quite good as well, because it means that you get to start the journey with the teacher. You can ask a question if you don't understand something, which is fantastic. A
Exactly.
concern that we get a lot is diversity. When a student comes to us and say, how diverse is this country? I'm not
Yeah.
sure. How have you found it being in Georgia?
I don't know about the rest of the country, but at least in Tbilisi and the university area, it is very, there is a lot of variety. You see all kinds of nationalities, ethnicities, and honestly, it's very nice to see and surround yourself with all these different cultures and languages. I think it helps you grow more as a person.
Absolutely, absolutely. You're not with your support system, which is your family or your friends. So you're kind of exposed to growing up in itself.
Yes.
Now, it can't have been just all roses. I'm sure you've had your challenges as you've been there. What's kind of the one challenge that you had and what you did to kind of overcome that?
I think the biggest challenge is the language barrier. So they speak Georgian. Even though we are learning Georgian in Tbilisi Medical Academy, obviously I'm still not fluent. Hopefully I will be one day. And yeah, obviously they have their own language and not everyone speaks English. And it's a little bit difficult to communicate freely with the locals and express yourself correctly. But Google Translate and DeepL do the job sometimes, most of the times.
Of course. And for you, being surrounded by other kind of nationalities, you get to kind of mix in terms of learning about their culture and the language as well, right?
Yes, of course.
Fantastic. And so for you, of course, the final question for you is, as you've taken that step, there are some students that are watching who've just finished maybe their high school or their A-level exams, and they're still nervous about going abroad. What advice do you have for them in terms of, what they're a bit hesitant to going abroad? What advice do you have for them?
First of all, I would like to say that it is obviously a very hard decision to make, and you should carefully assess if this is actually the right option for you. You're going to be far away from your family, from your friends, and basically everything you know. But I feel like if being a doctor or a dentist is truly what you want to be, it is a risk worth taking, absolutely. And this is just an extra experience that you will get in life, and you will, in a few years when you already have your diploma, you will look back and remember all the difficulties and bad moments you had, but and all the good times you had as well. So there is no gain without risk, basically. And if this is truly what you want, you should take the step.
Fantastic. Take the step. Thank you so much, Sarah. I know you're
Thank you
probably
very
sticking
much.
around for the Q&A, and thank you for spending some time with us.
Thank you for having me again. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. All right. So let's move on to another school. And we're still in Georgia. And this is European University in Tbilisi, EUT for short. This is also in Tbilisi. Now, of course, as you saw in the advert, they teach various courses there. Medicine and dentistry, of course, which is a course that we offer for the students there. It's 6 years for medicine and then 5 years for dentistry. There is no entrance exam, which means that you only get to prepare for the interview, which we're preparing for. Our admissions team will guide you through every step of the way. Tuition fees quite vary. You were looking at anything from 5,000 euros per year. And of course, the degrees are ones that you can use internationally as well. They have 2 intakes a year. They have the October intake, and then they have the March intake. Now, for those of you who are still contemplating on starting this year, we would advise that you do take the step. The reason being is because deadlines are a thing of the past now. The university goes based on how many seats they can fill. And if they fill the seats before the deadline, which means that they won't have to stick to the deadlines anymore. So seats are limited. And if you want to, we can have a conversation and see whether you qualify to apply here. Now, we have introduced one of the students who has come here tonight to talk about their experience. And this is a second year student who's doing medicine. Mia, are you here?
Hello, yes, I'm here.
Oh, hello. Thank you for spending the evening with us.
No, thank you for having me again.
So, Mia, for the ones that don't know about your journey, tell us a bit more about your journey and how you ended up at EUT.
So I came straight out of high school to Georgia. I couldn't apply to any medical schools in my country, in South Africa. So through family and family friends, I heard about Medlink. I had an interview, and with my requirements, they recommended Georgia. And since then, I can never look back. I'm enjoying it so much.
Fantastic. You're in second year already. Wow, time flies.
Yes, no, the time definitely flies. I mean, it's tough, of course, it's med school, but having so many friends from my country as well, which I was surprised by, and just from all other countries. The diversity is crazy, and being able to have a family abroad that's experiencing the same things as you, the same kind of sadness of being away from home, missing your family, it makes it a lot easier.
Absolutely, absolutely. Now, of course, just like Yusira, you've had an amazing time. You've not looked back. What's the one challenge that you experienced and what you did to kind of overcome that?
So I would say the language barrier was definitely the greatest challenge for me as well. But our university also offers Georgian classes that you are required to take for your first 3 semesters. And the teachers are really helpful. Other than that, as Jusira said earlier, Google Translate helps you a lot. But yeah, no, the Georgian language, once you get the hang of the alphabets, it's not too bad.
This is like anything, you kind of get used to the tonality as you're there and you get to spend time. I'm sure
Yeah.
by 4th year you will be halfway there in terms of understanding the language a bit more.
That's what we're hoping for.
As you've been there, how has the quality of education been? I'm sure you've tried comparing it to back home. How has it been for you in comparison to being in South Africa?
It's been great, to be honest. Most of our lecturers are doctors as well. So their knowledge is really expansive. If you have any questions, even personal medical questions, you can ask them. We have practical classes, clinical classes, and that really gets you pumped up to be a doctor, gets you pumped up to continue your education.
Fantastic. And how have you had the chance to go into the kind of the hospitals yet in terms of any hands-on and preparation in terms of interaction with patients? Have you had any of that?
Unfortunately, not yet. Roughly about 3rd, 4th year, we will start having clinical rotations. But the practical classes we have, we work on mannequins, simulations, and everything. So that prepares you really well for interacting with patients, I think.
Fantastic. And just lastly for you, just like Jasira, what advice do you have for those students that are apprehensive in terms of going abroad and kind of taking that step because they're panicking, they might not get into their home countries? What advice do you have for those students?
I would say don't be scared of it. The Medlink community has helped me so much. They made my transition from South Africa to here so smooth. Someone came to pick me up at the airport. Everything went smoothly. No bumps with application or anything. So they just take this step. There's no going back afterwards. You're gonna love it.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Mia. And I know I'm sure you'll be sticking around for the Q&A. But yeah, we can't wait to see your journey and how it unfolds. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. So next up, I'm going to bring my colleague, Dana, who's going to talk about studying in Serbia. Really exciting schools there. Dana?
Thank you, Edmund. So University of Novi Sad is one of our popular options and destinations for students who want to study medicine or dentistry. They do offer both courses, and they also offer pharmacy, which also we have students that go there and study pharmacy. The university has an entrance exam. Now, this entrance exam covers the basic knowledge of biology and chemistry that we help you prepare for. And the tuition fees are one of the attractive things about the university because it's 7,000 euros a year, which is quite affordable. And we'll not forget about the nice city that it's located in. Accommodation. Now, usually we get students that ask us where the students live. You usually can rent a private apartment that's close to the university with a very good price. And then next intake is October 2025. So we've started taking applications for October 2025. And we'll talk a little bit more about this university. And if it's one of the universities that you're interested in, let's start talking about it so we can start your application. So let's talk a bit about the facilities. The university has very modern lecture rooms, large capacity rooms designed to accommodate international students with great interior designs, and also the halls and labs that also are very nice interior, and where students get to meet each other, work in teams, get to make friends and learn at the same time. And of course, the laboratories that the university has, which are very modern, so students enjoy their experience there, and all the experiments that they're learning with their friends and with the great professors over there. And the clinical experience and practice designed in a way to help the students get the best hands-on experience and learn from very knowledgeable doctors. And of course, the specialized simulation rooms, they offer a realistic environment for students to practice and develop their clinical skills. And of course, we'll not forget about the main reason why students love the university is because of the extracurricular activities. So the university has many activities students can kind of enjoy, like music students who like music, galleries, museums. The city itself, like many students who go there, they fall in love with the place and they're like, I want to stay here. So it's a very nice and friendly city. And of course, the many reasons why students go and study in Novi Sad, but one of the main things is the university has 50,000 students. So it's a very diverse university, and the university is always undergoing renovations. So Novi Sad is one of the most popular universities, and we started taking applications for next year. Moving on from here, we'll discuss one of also our popular universities in Poland. Bialystok Medical University is one of the prestigious universities for medicine. It's located in a city called Bialystok. The university, as you can see in the pictures, is a very nice campus. They do also have an entrance exam, but it's more like an interview. It's done online. It's also basic knowledge for biology and chemistry that we help you prepare for. Tuition fees are around 14,300 euros a year. And usually the cost of living is 900 euros a year, including accommodation. According to accommodation, you can either rent a private apartment like a studio, or you can be in the university dormitories. And their next intake is also October. Now, can you please go back to the University of Łódź? All right. So moving on from here, we'll take a brief look before we discuss the next university in Poland about the facilities and the Bialystok, so you can see some of the photos. So the university also has very advanced facilities. We can talk about the laboratories a bit, which are very advanced to make sure that students learn in the best possible way. They have modern classes and lecture rooms. As you can see in front of you, like the university recognizes the importance of well-equipped classrooms and lecture rooms in fostering effective teaching and learning experiences. They also have great clinical practice rooms, and of course the simulation rooms that they have. The university provides simulation rooms equipped with advanced technologies to enhance the practical experience you get for you to graduate with the best hands-on experience. And to take a brief look at the extracurricular activities that are available in such a great city like Bialystok and the University of Bialystok. The university has around 16 student organizations. They have sports associations for students who love sports. And of course, the singing, karaoke nights, sightseeing places to go, cooking classes. So students get to do some kind of extracurricular activities to release the stress of studying and to enjoy and make friends. We'll also look at the reasons why students or why study at Bialystok, the modern campus, and of course the diversity in the university. It's a huge university. They have around 13,000 medical doctor graduates. It's a beautiful city and a stunning architecture for the campus, for the city. It's a very nice place. It's a tourism area for students who go to Poland. They always like to go and visit Bialystok. And the university partners with more than 100 universities. So if Bialystok is also one of the options that you are considering, we can get on a call and we can still discuss this university. And we can still put in some applications for this year if you're interested to join this year. Moving on from here to the next university in Poland that we have is Łódź University, which is located in a city called Łódź. They have medicine and dentistry, and they also have a pre-med course. The university has an entrance exam, also biology and chemistry. And the cost of living there is around 650 euros, so it's a very nice city. And the tuition fees are also quite affordable, like they range between 14,200 euros up to 14,400 euros. Accommodation, usually students either rent a private apartment or they can also be in the university dormitories. And the next intake is October. Now, the exciting thing today is that we have a representative from Łódź University that will be telling us more about the university itself and their programs. Miss Adriana Adamus. Miss Adriana, can you hear me?
Yes, and can you hear me too?
Yes, we can hear you clearly.
Perfect.
So can you tell us a little bit more about the university?
Of course. So first of all, thank you for inviting me. It is a pleasure to be here and to tell you about our university. So the Medical University of Łódź is a big public university, one of the biggest universities in Poland. It is fully accredited by the Polish Accreditation Committee. And it was established in 1950. So it has a long history. It's like 75 years of teaching, and we have 20 years of experience in teaching in English. As you mentioned, we offer 3 programs in English, medicine, dentistry, and pre-med course. Our students have great opportunity to use very modern facilities, including laboratories. For example, in 2022, one of our most modern laboratories were opened for our students. It's called Molecule Lab. It is a great facility with great equipment, so our students can study using brand new equipment. I think it's great, and the university is still developing. Almost every year they open some new buildings, some new facilities, so it's a great opportunity. Also, first 3 years of our programs are preclinical, more theoretical classes like biochemistry, physics, biophysics, anatomy, yes, histology, etc. Yes, so some general and theoretical subjects. And next 3 years at the medical program and 2 years in a dental program are practical. Students have clinical classes such as surgery, internal medicine, pediatrics, gynecology, etc. Here on the presentation, you can see some of the equipment that we use for teaching students here for the laparoscopy procedure, because we have very modern simulation center where they have a lot of phantoms of newborns, phantoms of children, adults, even for women giving birth. They have real life, like a real size ambulance, yeah. And students can really practice there before they meet the real patients, so they can very prepare. Another great advantage of our university is the medical dental center. Our students can learn at very modern phantom rooms. The groups are small, so all students have a chance to really practice, not only to watch. And this is one of the most modern dental equipment dental school in Poland. Moving forward, I can also tell you that our students have summer training every year from year first to fifth during medical studies, and from year first to fourth during the dental studies. It's about 1 month training every year. We have also the preparatory course, which is for students who wish to improve their knowledge and refresh their knowledge after high school. So they can start their studies with refreshed knowledge, and they also study medical English, which is very helpful during the first year of study. Our medical qualifications are recognized in European Union as well as in UK. We are also listed in the World Directory, and we have ECFMG sponsor node, as well as our university is recognized by the NCFM CE, which is a United States accreditation committee. Our students have a lot to do also after classes. We have a freshly renovated sports center with the swimming pools and sports halls. We also organize some nice events, for example, white coat ceremony. And tomorrow we will have a beautiful graduation ceremony. So I can't wait for this. We also organize some sightseeing trips, cultural events such as cultural soiree, where our students show their cultures and where they cook and prepare their traditional dishes and also perform their traditional dances, etc. We have a lot of student scientific societies where our students can develop their interests. And our students can also engage in international student organizations and participate in different conferences, for example, Juvenes Pro Medicina.
All right. Thank you, Miss Adriana.
Thank you so much.
I think that was a great explanation about everything, including the activities, the exciting activities. And I'm sure you're going to have a great time tomorrow and the students are going to love it. We can't wait.
Yeah, I can't wait. Yeah. Another 150 students will join the community of doctors. So we are very proud of it.
Yeah, it's very important to make sure students do these activities to learn more about different cultures and make friends and get to know each other outside of medicine classes.
Yeah, of course.
All right. Well, thanks a lot for joining us today, Ms. Adrian. And also we have with us today a student from Lodz University, Marwan, who will be also telling us about his experience there, so we can hear it from a student's perspective. Marwan?
Yes. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, hello. Hello. So, hi everyone.
You're a medical student, correct, over there?
Yes.
Can you tell us more about the campus and the courses since you've been there for 4 years?
Yes, definitely. So I'm Marwan. I'm a fourth-year med student, and I come from Lebanon. And I'll be sharing my experience with you throughout my 4 years at the Medical University of Lodz. As Ms. Adriana said, my colleague, the Medical University of Lodz is one of the biggest in Poland, and it has lots of campuses, lots of facilities, lots of activities that anybody can do, which is something that I find very convenient and good for us students. Our university actually has above 45 different campuses throughout the city, so MUL really takes over the city of Lodz. There are loads of sports clubs, lots of research clubs, lots of extracurricular activities which you can take part of, which are both academically and just for fun and pleasure. So me, myself, personally, I take part in like multiple research clubs, some sport clubs, and multiple events which always are going on throughout the year. There's so much to talk about our university. For example, let's say this page, we have the White Coat Ceremony. White Coat Ceremony is an annual event that happens every single year. It's to celebrate the completion of the preclinical years of medical school. I find this to be such a wonderful event to cherish, which we'll always keep in memories, and something that every medical student looks forward to having. In terms of classes, of course, you know that we have preclinical years for the first 3 years, and then from 4 to 6, it becomes more clinical. I think that the clinical aspects of our university are really nice, as we really do get to see patients every single day. Most of our classes turn into sessions where we go do morning rounds with doctors, see patients every morning, and we really do get to learn a lot from it. You know, like I've spoken to many of my friends who study at different universities, and not everyone has the chance to be exposed to patients and such difficult and interesting cases on a daily basis. You know?
Absolutely. Yes.
And yes. And
So-
even if I would add one more thing, I would
Yeah,
talk about the
yeah.
preclinical years. For example, anatomy. We take anatomy in our first year, and we get to see cadavers and learn so much about it using so many different methods.
Well, actually, I was gonna ask you about the theory courses, and
Okay,
you
yes.
answered that. Thanks for that, Marwan. One more question for you is, can you
Definitely.
tell us a little bit more about the professors, like how they support you and how friendly they are with you, if you don't understand?
Okay. One thing I did realize is that lots of our professors are very young, and very young. Of course, personally, I don't mind like any age, because everyone who's capable of teaching should be able to teach. But when I talk about the professor being young, that also means that they are close to our mind. They kind of understand what students nowadays go through, because they've definitely been a student more recently than before. So they know how the ways of living have changed, and they might even speak English better, because our generation, like almost everybody in our generation right now, speaks English. I find it to be very friendly. You know, most of them really try to help us. Most of them always are available after class for some extra questions or some extra help, or really anything that we might need. So all in all, I do find them to be very helpful, and they try their best to keep us always on track. Of course, there are always cases where you would have like one or two like doctors who wouldn't be as motivated, but I guess that's something that you would find everywhere in every university.
Of course, it happens even in school. Like sometimes I would
Yeah.
like a professor, your friend wouldn't, and vice versa.
Yes.
But as you said, it's a very
Yeah.
important point you said here, is that professors being young means they understand your mind. They're up to date with the new technology. They know how you think, what you go through as a student, and they can be kind of friends to you. So
Yes, they are. Like, you know, like our relationship with our doctors is that if you'd see them outdoor, like you wouldn't try to avoid them and like walk away. No, like you'd go, you'd say hi, they'd like come to you, you know, you can have like a nice conversation.
yeah, that's quite amazing to have this relationship with your professors.
It does help a lot, you know, it does help a lot. And one more thing I'd like to add about our classes is that our classes are quite small compared to other universities. So one group in our year would consist of around 10 students. I think it's a perfect number of students, because when we have like clinical classes, everyone would have the chance to like conduct the physical examination or speak to a patient, or even when it's a theoretical class, all of us have time to ask questions and, you know, like focus with the doctor. It doesn't get too crowded. So that is one point I would consider like a positive aspect.
Absolutely, 100%.
Mhm.
Very important to kind of be able to ask if you have any questions, and have this good relationship, a good support in the university. And it's quite exciting. I think everyone here is excited, even me, to go to the university after you spoke about the extracurricular activities they have and the sports. Looks
Yeah,
like you have
definitely.
a fantastic
Definitely. Like
experience.
our university has over 35 different sport clubs.
Wow.
Yeah, from horse riding, like we have all the basics, you know, basketball, football, all these, and we have some like more strange activities like climbing, rock climbing, kayaking, and like canoeing. horse riding. We have a ski club. We have annual skiing trips. Like so much to do in your free time, and so much leisure activities, I would say.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Marwan, for sharing all of this. I think a lot of
Definitely.
students now are excited to consider which university. You're
Thank,
gonna
and
stay
thank you
with
for having
us.
me.
We have a lot of students asking more questions in the Q&A, and I think we'll be able to use your help at the end of the webinar with some of the questions. So
Definitely,
thanks
I'm
a
here
lot.
all the time. Thank you.
And moving on from here, we'll move to our next university, and I'll invite my colleague Tom to tell us more about Richmond Gabriel University. Tom?
Great, thanks, Dana. Wow, what a selection we've had so far. So many different students and representatives. So thank you all for sharing everything you have so far. What a fantastic insight that we've had. Yeah, as you can see, Richmond Gabriel University is located on the island of Curacao, which you might be thinking that doesn't sound like somewhere in Europe, and it's not. This is actually in the Caribbean. So we are now working with a couple of schools in the Caribbean, and we have done now for a little while with some great success. Richmond Gabriel has always stood out as a real high-performing school that's incredibly supportive and delivers fantastic doctors with internationally recognized qualifications. You can see here they offer medicine and pre-med. There's no entrance exam currently. Tuition fees, they do vary a little bit depending on the scholarship that you're able to get. However, when you apply through Medlink Students, we are able to access exclusive agreements in terms of the fees payable with the university. So do let us, do inquire with us, and we can find out what kind of rates it will be for you. Cost of living, as you can see here, around 950 euros per month on average. Accommodation is private, but we do help you, so don't worry. And it's a very safe place as well. Lots of good private accommodation available. Next intake is in September, and it is still currently available for applications. I believe it's right at the end now. Now, what makes Richmond Gabriel University unique compared to the others that we've discussed today is the graduate entry medicine program. So for those of you who have a degree already, they actually offer a 4-year medical degree with this university. So if you have a relevant Bachelor of Science degree, let's say biomedical science, Bachelors of Medical Sciences, Bachelor of Science in Nursing, they're looking for key elements like anatomy and physiology that will allow you to progress into this condensed 4-year program, which is 2 theoretical years followed by 2 clinical years. So very similar to the advanced MDs that you have in the USA, also very similar to the graduate entry medicine courses done in the UK. So it's a condensed form graduate medicine course that has very good recognition internationally. If you are an A-level or a high school student, you can still apply for this school as well. So they do actually have what's called their pre-med program, which is a 16-month course. Now, this course can be done either online or on campus. And for 16 months, you'll be taught all the basics, and it's a bit like a little crash course, just covering all the pre-med qualifications that are required to get onto the 4-year program. So if you're someone that's maybe a little bit hesitant about going and studying abroad straight away, you do actually have an opportunity here to start studying and progressing your way towards medicine without even leaving your bedroom or your house. So there is a possibility to do that with the school, and that's a really unique opportunity. Of course, when you start the actual medical degree and you have to follow the accreditation, it is on campus. But for the pre-med course itself, you do have that opportunity to do it remotely from home, so you don't have to take a travel straight away. So spaces are really limited for this school, so do inquire with us, both for the pre-med and for the MD track, and we'll be happy to see if you qualify for it. In terms of some of the facilities, you can see here, they've got some fantastic lecture rooms, the lab facilities, access to cadavers, as well as a lot of different anatomy equipment that's available. They will take you through all of the preclinicals that have to be completed. Again, like one of our students was mentioning before, a lot of the dummy work that's done. It's a similar thing here in the Caribbean. So they're going to be taking you through, how to put in the IV and many different aspects that are required before you go into the clinical phase. So it's a fantastic opportunity. Of course, it's the Caribbean as well, so it's a paradise. And you can see here, Curacao, the island, it's an amazing place. It is just like what you see on your Pirates of the Caribbean films, or maybe if you've got a nice holiday brochure lying around somewhere, if those still exist in anyone's homes. Yeah, it's an amazing place. Your parents will definitely thank you if you go and study here. Although it's a bit more of a journey for our students from the UK and Europe, it is worthwhile. Because as I said, you can start it remotely and then you're able to go there and join this fantastic place. It's very international as well. It's very diverse. Curacao is a very touristy island, so there are a lot of international students around, and a lot of international tourists as well that of course go there all the year. Most of the island benefits from tourism. That's their main source of income. So they are incredibly welcoming and friendly people, regardless of where you come from, what you look like, what religions you may practice. They just want to be there. They want to get to know you, and it's a very relaxing atmosphere. And of course, all the same things you can expect from a top medical school, the white coat ceremonies, and everything else that is required. And of course, lots of nice beaches, rainforests. For those of you that like nature, of course, this isn't going to be like a European city where it's going to be a big city in a built-up place. It is a lot of nature, a lot of nice resorts, beaches, all sorts of things to do on the island landscape. So again, if you have any questions, please reach out to us, Richmond Gabriel University. You can send it to us on WhatsApp if you're already with an advisor. If not, you can inquire on our website and we would be happy to help you with this fantastic opportunity. And there are doctors working in the GMC or registered with the GMC working in the UK from this school, as well as around the world. So it's a really fantastic opportunity, and we'd be happy to share more info with you on that and see what you think. Okay, so going on from there, what exactly can we do for you at Medlink Students? So of course, the first step is the free advice. So we understand that making a decision on where to study medical school is a humongous decision to make. It's not a case of you're just going to be going somewhere for a year or for 6 months or for a few weeks. It's not a holiday. You're going to be going there for 4 to 6 years. It's a huge commitment. It's a lot of money to spend, and you've got to make sure that you pick the right place. And this is why ourselves as advisors, we are here to spend as much time as we possibly can listening to you, hearing your story, hearing your preferences, so we can personalize the recommendations that we give you. So they are specifically tailored towards your wants and needs, as well as a university that you qualify for, as well as a university that's within your budget. Yeah, that's so important and vital for you to have success. And as my colleague Daniela mentioned before, your success is our success. We want to make sure that we can help you pair to the perfect university the first time. And so that's really, really vital for us. Now, once you've, of course, applied and we've gone through any concerns or worries that you may have, make sure that you're comfortable and ready to go. Then we're on to the admission process. You can see here a few of my colleagues in the admissions teams. Now, we have specific admissions teams working with different universities in different countries across Europe and the Caribbean. So when you apply, you'll be put in touch with a specific admissions team in addition to your personal advisor. And together, everyone will work on your file and your application and get everything done and prepared for you. So this is all done on your behalf, all the legal work, the translations, all of the bureaucracy and the paperwork. Sometimes this takes up to 2 months to complete, and they will complete everything. And while they're doing that, we will be giving you university-specific exam or interview materials to help you get an edge on the competition when it comes to applying. So these two things combined means that you're going to have the best possible chance of getting entry into your chosen school. We've been doing this method now, tried and tested, for over 12 years. We work with around 1,000 students every single year, and we're happy to say it works. We get incredible results. You can see a few of the pictures here on the next step of some really happy students, and this is of course the on-ground support. So we understand that getting your admission is not even half the journey. Although it's the majority of the work for us, for you, it's only a small aspect. You've then got to think, right, how do I get to this country? Is it going to be safe? How am I going to get accommodation? How am I going to get health insurance? I don't know how the systems work or anything. You don't have to worry. We have a team there They're on the ground, they're experts, they live there permanently. So we're going to have that team pick you up from the airport as soon as you arrive. They're going to show you around the city and around the university. They'll teach you how the transportation works. They'll organize tours with yourself and with other students so you can get to know others. They'll help you with accommodation, setting up a bank account, getting a SIM card, absolutely everything that you need to get on your feet, be comfortable, and focus on what counts, which is, of course, your education. So that's really the most vital thing. But of course, our on-ground support is ongoing throughout your studies, as well as our teams here. You can see some of our office teams. They are taking calls every single hour of every single day from students. Maybe the student just wants to know what a certain word is. They can't figure out a translation, or sometimes it can be a bit more serious. Perhaps a student has fallen ill and they need to know how to book a doctor's appointment. Believe it or not, some students, even if they're medical students themselves, they might not think about something like that because they're having a good time, they're in good health, and then suddenly they're not feeling so good and they need some assistance. So we'll have people there and we'll help them. We're always a phone call away. We always have people in the city, so you don't have to worry. We're there to support you. Again, we want to see you succeed. And succeeding isn't getting into medical school. Although that's a great success and you should congratulate yourself and give yourself a firm pat on the back when you do get there, that's just the first small step. We want to make sure you have success throughout. We want you to be joining our webinars like all of our other enthusiastic students here and showing the amazing experience that you're having, and then we want you to become a successful doctor. And that's why we also offer post-graduation support. So this is when we're going to be helping you when you actually graduate from your studies. So once you've graduated, we're going to have a team there that will help you with registration, whether you want to register in the UK, whether you want to register in America, Australia, wherever you want to go at that point. We will give you as much guidance, advice, and support on exactly how to do it. We'll give you tips and tricks on how to get started on your career, how to get into competitive placements, whatever it is that you're looking to do at that point. We are here to help you. From day one that you sign up with Medlink Students, you become a part of this family, a part of this community, and we will be there to help and support you as much as we can. Okay, so I hope that's kind of gone over in enough detail. Of course, if you need anything else, here is the code to scan. We've also got the link there, so you can click on the link. We will be moving on to the Q&A, and we'll be answering 4 or 5 of the most popular questions, the most common questions asked throughout the session today. But if you want to, feel free to go ahead and go book an appointment now. They're completely free of charge. There's no obligation to sign up for anything afterwards. It is just there to help you, to see if this would work for you, and to give you some free expert advice, as we mentioned here. And it will be a personalized Q&A session. We will answer as many of your questions as you have, any concerns or worries, and we'll go through everything, and perhaps we'll be able to plan the first steps of your future as a doctor or dentist abroad. And we'd be really happy to help you with doing that. Okay, so we've got a few questions that have come through, and luckily I've got a really hard-working team in the background that have been sending me some of the most commonly asked questions on the Q&A. So I'm going to get a few of those, and I'm going to ask a few at random. So the first one is, first of all, let's choose who we're going to pick on for this question. Edmund, are you with us? Give me a wave.
I'm here.
You're here, fantastic. Okay, let me shoot a question over to you. If you're not from Europe, can you still apply to study medicine in Europe?
Absolutely. We deal with students from everywhere. I've dealt with students from Malaysia, Singapore, India, Pakistan, everywhere. You can we can help you anywhere you are from. It doesn't matter what nationality you are. I can't tell you how many students I've spoken with, students from Nigeria, Ghana, and yes, we can look into the opportunities that are out there for you, because we believe that everyone that is passionate about pursuing medicine and becoming a doctor deserves the chance to actually become one. So it doesn't matter. Let's have a chat and see what qualifications you have, and take it from there.
Fantastic, thank you. Yeah, it really does depend on the qualifications. Of course, there are visa requirements as well for people coming outside of Europe, from outside of Europe into Europe. But we can talk to you about that. We have experts in the business. We know where you can go, where you shouldn't go, you know, where it might be more complicated and more difficult to get things sorted out. But overall, absolutely everyone that comes to us will have an opportunity to go and study abroad. So get on the phone to us, tell us all about your story, your academic background and everything else, and we'll do our best to help. Okay, who do I want next? In fact, I think I'm going to answer this one. So in Georgia, is the language used for teaching English? Yes, so all of the qualifications we work with in Georgia are 100% English taught. In fact, universities like the European University of Tbilisi and TMA, they actually are very strict on their professors to make sure that they have the highest level of English teaching. Because again, for them, these international programs are a big priority. They want to do their best for all of their international students. And so they do teach really well in English. Now, of course, you're moving to another country where English is not the primary language. So you do have to understand that there are going to be sometimes language barriers. I myself, I'm based at the moment in Bulgaria. And whenever I need to, there are people that speak English, most cases. You know, if you go to a restaurant or you go to a doctor's or you need to get some transport, something like that. And again, we've all got our technology these days. We've got our Google Translate. And so it's very simple if you need to. And of course, as well, every university that we work with across Europe, although they're all English taught programs, they do all have compulsory language elements. So they will teach you some of the basic aspects of the language. Now, this isn't enough to strain you in any way because, again, they understand that medicine and dentistry courses are very, very difficult. And it would be impossible for you to become fluent in a language in a very short period of time alongside studying medicine or dentistry. So they're just going to be required to learn a few basic words and phrases, which will help you to get by. And then also by the time you get into helping patients in year 3, 4, 5, 6, whenever it may be with the course that you choose, you will be able to have some basic conversations. But don't worry, people are going to be there to support you and help you, professors, nurses, everyone is there to see you succeed. As long as you pick a good supportive school that's going to look out for you and have your best interests at heart. And of course, that's something that we look for here at Medlink Students, and we assess regularly with the schools that we work with. Okay, so what is it like? Dana, I'm going to ask you this question. Dana, are you with us?
Yeah, yeah.
Great. What is it like transferring from different medical schools from different parts of the world to Europe?
Good question here. We get a lot of students that are interested in transferring from a university and they're studying in different countries. The best thing about Europe is that transfers are possible, and we do have universities that are quite flexible when it comes to transfers because they look at the subjects that you've studied and how the curriculums match, and they give you a year of entry rather than just telling you, oh, the curriculums don't match. Because as you know, there's always difference in the structure of the course, even in the same country, between a university and another. So imagine coming from a different area in the world like America or Africa and coming into Europe, there's differences in the structure of the course. And many universities might tell you start from year 1, they don't match. But the universities that we work with, and because we have experts that do that, we kind of work with the university based on subjects that you've done. We understand that medicine is medicine wherever you go, and this is what we discuss with the university, the curriculum. We try to match the curriculums to help you transfer. And of course, the experience of being in Europe, diverse place where you see students from different countries, different cultures. So you'll get to start your university based on how many subjects have been recognized rather than start back from year 1. So you don't lose what you've done. And you get to enjoy the experience with other students who are international, rather than being your home country and everyone's from the same place. You can be with a diverse environment.
Fantastic, Dana. Thank you very much for answering that one. Okay, the next one. Let's find a student. Jasira. Is Jasira still with us?
Yes, I'm here.
Hi, Jasira. Thank you.
Hello.
So I've got a student here that's asked, and we've actually seen this a couple of times in different wordings. What are the pros and cons of studying at TMA?
Oh, that's That's a very broad question.
Give us one thing that you find challenging and one thing that you love.
Um, okay. Well, one thing that I find challenging, but I think this applies for every single university and every single med student, is the amount of content that you need to learn, basically. But this is just general to medicine. I don't have a specific thing right
No,
now
of
in
course,
mind.
that's a good one. But yeah, if a school doesn't have too much content in medicine, then I think it's a problem, isn't it? If you find
Yeah.
medical school easy. So yeah, that's good. Okay, and what would you say is a pro compared to other schools? What would you say stands out for TMA?
Something that I really like from TMA is something that they call GOTS, which is growth-oriented tests. And basically, at the end, every 2 or 3 weeks, they do a little test containing the content that we have covered during those 2 or 3 weeks. And I feel like it basically keeps you in check, and they make sure with this method that you cover all the material as we go, and then you're ready for midterms and finals.
Fantastic. Thank you very much. That was a perfect answer to the question. A little bit of
Thank you.
information for us all to learn. So thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Edmund, back to you. After completing the degree, are we required to do an internship in that specific country, or can we go to another country?
It depends on what you're looking to do. You can either stay there in the country if you're falling in love with it, and do your internship there, or you can go do it in any country you want to. Depends, of course, if you did it in Europe, the 6 years, if we're talking about medicine specifically, generally the internships are integrated into it. So you start working straight away. Now, other countries will have specific requirements. So, for example, let's take a student who finished in Bulgaria who did medicine. The final year, of course, is considered as a foundation year one for those of you who want to work in the UK. So when they come back to the UK, they can do the foundation year two, which means that they work as a senior doctor. So it really depends on you as an individual, where you want to go. We can give you an advice as to which countries would take what, and whenever you come back to the UK, we can also guide you into. So it really depends. Is this specifically based on medicine or dentistry, Tom?
I think it's been asked a couple of times, but let's say for medicine, that's the majority of
Okay.
them.
Yeah, it depends. If you wanted to stay in that country, you can, but generally, every country has its own requirements, and we can guide you in terms of where you're going, because we have a network of graduates who've gone to different countries, so we can guide you on that too.
Okay, perfect. So another one we've been asked a lot is it safe in Eastern Europe? Obviously, a lot of students from the UK, the US, they might not know that much about Eastern Europe. I want to see if we've got one of our students available here. Marwan, are you still with us?
Yes, I am.
Hey, perfect. Can you tell us
Hello.
kind of how do you feel from a safety point of view?
From a safety point of view,
Yeah, does it feel safe where you are?
okay, so as a quick, short answer, I would say yes, especially keeping in mind that the city I live in, Łódź, I would consider to be a student city, as most of the people I see out in the public and around me are mainly students. And obviously, safety is one thing that all of us definitely want to have. It's one of the big requirements of that we consider when moving to a new city. So I would say that it's safe. Of course, we always take care of our surroundings and make sure to go to safe areas and avoid places that might not seem very safe. But overall, I would say it is.
Fantastic. Thank you. So obviously that's the case for Poland, and I've heard that from so many students that Poland is such a lovely, peaceful country to be in. And Mia,
Yeah.
are you? Sorry, Yeah, it's fantastic, and thank you so much for sharing that with us. Mia, are you still with us?
Yes, I'm still here.
Let's talk about somewhere that's a little bit further east then, the European University, in, of course, that you're based in Tbilisi, the capital city of Georgia. How do you feel in terms of safety in the city?
Oh, I feel very safe. I've never had any doubt of safety here, especially coming from a place like South Africa, which isn't that safe. You learn to be vigilant. Of course, like Marvin said, you avoid places that seem unsafe, but overall it's very safe. Like public transport as well is wonderful here. So I have no complaints.
Fantastic. I always love to show the students the statistics, especially for Tbilisi, because it's ranked as one of the safest capital cities in the world. Which a lot of people are surprised about, because usually if you haven't heard of a place, your mind automatically feels uncomfortable and you think maybe it's not a safe place. But for you, you said you're fine kind of wandering around on your own. Do you feel safe?
No, definitely, of course. And overall, people here are very kind. And if they see you're lost or something, I've had quite a few, mostly younger people, but they would come up to me and ask me if I need help finding some place. So they're very helpful, very kind, feel very safe all the time.
That's lovely. Of course, medical school's hard enough. You don't want to feel uncomfortable where you are. So it's fantastic that you get to feel that level of comfort. So Mia, thank you so much for sharing that with us. Perfect answer. Really lovely to hear your opinion as a current student in Tbilisi. Okay, so I'm going to go for one more that we've seen a lot here, which is when should I apply? Edmund, let's go back to you. As an advisor, you're obviously dealing with many calls every single day at the moment. And of course, a lot of students are asking, when should I apply? What would you say? Of course, we've got students that are looking for later sessions, but the most urgent now is, of course, the students that are applying for this September. So let's answer the question specifically for them. If someone wants to go to medical school for this September, when should they apply?
Great question. So, of course, a lot of students want to wait and see where they stand. You know, some of the students, you're still waiting, you're on a waiting list for students that are talking to in the UK. Now, back in the day, and I'm talking 2 to 3 years ago, we would be able to put together an application after results day, and you still get in this year. But that's not the case anymore. I think I mentioned this in one of my answers before, is that the universities have changed their ways. And, you know, back when they used to have deadlines, August and September, they have so many students applying, whereby the deadlines don't mean anything. They're filling up the seats a lot more before the actual deadlines are up. For example, Bulgaria is one of the most popular places. You know, 1 in 3 students I talk to, they have an uncle, an aunt, a friend, a family member that studied in Bulgaria. And they may have studied there 6 years ago, but it's different now. And so going to Bulgaria, I mean, we had one of the universities who last year said in April that they've filled up their seats already because they have too many applications. And the same is happening this year. So the best time to apply is now. Yes, it's not too late to discuss options, but having a conversation now would really help you, because you'll get to have a better understanding of where to go, which schools to apply to, and of course, budgets and everything. And these calls are free to you. So anytime we speak to students is, when should I apply? The question you should ask yourself is, am I happy with the choices? Am I okay where I'm going to? I want to become a doctor, but where do I see myself in the next 6 years? And if you're happy to go, then don't hesitate, because the moment you decide to sit and wait and find out where you stand, next thing you know, you're taking a gap year, and then a gap year turns into 2 to 3 to 4. And I get to see the students that do this and come back and say, oh, I wished I had done it the year before. So the time and the best time to apply is right now. And let's have a call and see where we go from there. That is all it takes. It's free anyway. You might as well take advantage of it.
Absolutely. Thank you, Edmund. And I guess that perfectly wraps things up for this evening, because this is the number one thing you need to know now is if this is something that you're really interested in, please do get in touch. We are here to help you. You know, it may be the right thing for you, it may be the wrong thing for you, but there is no harm at all in having a phone call with us, just so we can find out kind of what your background is, what you're looking to do, where you're looking to apply. We can see if it's still available, because bear in mind, many universities have already closed across Europe. We're talking maybe even 30 or 40% of the schools that we work with, maybe even more. I can't think now off the top of my head, but a lot of them, the deadlines have passed. So the best time to apply was 6 months ago, but the next best time to apply is right now. So we can help you. We have teams working around the clock at the moment. They are doing absolutely everything they can to make sure your dreams can become a reality. All you have to do is pick up the phone, give us a call, and find out if it's something suitable for you. We are here to help you. We're here to do everything we can, put in all of our 12 years of experience, of course, from our team of doctors that started this organization to the huge organization that we are now, helping around 1,000 students every single year, and we hope that you can be one of them. We really look forward to discussing everything with you, going over the options that are most suitable for you, and really trying to find something that's going to kickstart your dream of studying medicine or dentistry. So again, thank you all so much for joining us this evening. It's been a fantastic experience to have you all with us. We've really enjoyed the entire process. We can't wait to have a conversation with you, but please, 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 to avoid any disappointment, do get in touch with us as soon as possible. I know we're going to have a lot of phone calls in August, and we're going to have to turn a lot of people down. A lot of people might have to take gap years, and bear in mind, university admissions are getting tougher and tougher every single year in Europe at the moment because the popularity is increasing. So you really need to get something done. If this is a passion of yours, you want this dream to come true, go for it. Take the step, take the plunge. You will not regret it. We will hold your hand and we will support you every single step of the way. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for listening. And we look forward to speaking with you very soon. Well done again to all the UK students as well for the A-levels. We understand how tough it is, and well done for getting through it. All right, guys, see you on the next one. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.